Hey guys, and welcome back to a new installment of Dan's Pro Shop. Today we are going over the DS700 by Depstech. If you guys are familiar, I've gone over some Depstech stuff in the past, and I keep doing it. Rightfully so, because it's good stuff. It's good quality stuff. They produce a good product, and I'm genuinely impressed with them. So this is their newest offering, and they asked me if I want to check it out. Yeah, I want to check it out. The other stuff blew my windows down, so why wouldn't this? And hey, stick around. I'm telling you, you're going to want to see this entire video because we just may be giving something away. So if you're interested in checking this thing out and seeing what else is going on, stick around. Allow me to introduce to you the Depstech DS700. Let's just take a moment and appreciate the insanely awesome packaging that this thing comes in. If you guys have ever looked for one of these like tough back hard plastic cases, you know these things in themselves can range anywhere in dollar amount. And I had to guess, if you just went out and bought this case, this would probably be in the 60 to $100 range. But this is just what this thing comes in. And let me tell you, this is just the tip of the iceberg that it comes in this awesome case. This particular inspection scope comes with a lot of the awesome crap that we've already come to expect from Depstech. Just like a high resolution screen, but this one is significantly bigger. You can record video, you can record audio, and you can also save pictures and stuff onto an SD card. So in the event you have something that you need to prove to somebody, let's just say that you have an internal engine problem that you need to prove to a customer to get your point across, you are now able to show them pictures and video like, hey guy, look what's going on in cylinder 3. This is what you need to look at. So let's just crack into this old boy here. Open up this snazzy case and look at that. Egg crate foam in the top and the camera itself. Look at this thing. It's freaking awesome. Like, this thing is the size of like a scan tool. And it's got this fancy little hand holder thingy to make it easy for one hand operation. I tell you what, let me grab a tape and stretch it across here so you guys can see for sure how big this is. So in case you guys are unfamiliar, this is the way you measure screens. So outside to outside is about 7.5. Excluding the frame on the outside, that gives us a 7-inch screen. We'll just go ahead and power this boy up. Look at that, nice full color LCD. And right now it's telling us we have no signal because, rightfully so, there is no camera plugged into it. But take a look at all the goodies on this thing. It's super easy and user friendly. This is how you take a snapshot or a video. This is how you flip the screen so you can change the orientation depending on where your camera's facing. This is just the back button for the menu selection. Your settings, obviously an OK or an enter button, some more navigation buttons, and just on off. It's really easy to navigate this thing. On the back here, we got this slick little kickstand so you can set it up on your bench, and it's totally adjustable. It's not just click into one location or the other. You can put this wherever you need to. And on the bottom here, this is the charging port. It's a regular USB-C like pretty much everything is nowadays, and there is a port for an SD card. And Depstech was cool enough to even include one from the beginning. So this thing is ready to go right out of the box. You do not have to install an SD card. It comes with one. And there is also the hard reset buttons here. In the event that you have an issue, something going on, you just need to start this guy back from factory, that's how you do it. And not to mention the overall just beefy construction of this thing. Like, it is meant to last. This is a hard shell ABS plastic case with what appears to be flexible PVC overmoldings on the side. Like, this thing is built to get beat up. It is for us kind of people. So in the event you drop this thing off a roof or heck, whatever you might be doing with it, you can be assured that this thing is going to last for quite a long time. So now that we have a pretty good overview of the base module itself, let's dig further into the kit and see what this thing comes with. Further into the box here, we have nice like die cut foam that everything comes into, some separation foam, an instruction booklet, and all kinds of accessories. Now, bear in mind, I have been into this, so I could give myself a little bit of an education before passing this on to you. This would all be nice individually plastic wrapped to begin with, but I've eliminated all that stuff so you guys can get a better view. Here in the accessories that everything comes with is a nice USB-C charging cable, so that's cool. Like, heck, even iPhones don't come with charging cables anymore, but at least this one does. And this little vial here is all kinds of cool little attachments that snap onto the end of the camera lens itself. So it gives you a lot of options in what you're doing. This guy right here is a magnet that clips onto the end of the camera. So in the event that you need to pick something up that you can't see, you would snap this on to the end of the camera, well, the other end, wherever that may be. I'll show you when we get there, I promise. But this thing is super handy. I cannot tell you how many times I've used this particular attachment on other cameras. This little guy here is a pin for that reset that I showed you earlier. So in the event that you need to hard reset the base module, they give you a tool to do that. And here we have just a snazzy little hook attachment. So in the event that you're grabbing something non-ferrous that the magnet won't work for, this guy screws onto the end of the camera lens, and now you have a nice rigid hook. And I really do like the fact that these things are threaded and they screw onto the end of the camera, so this thing won't pull off. Like a lot of other cameras have just like spring tension clips that hook onto the end of the camera. Well, you're relying on the spring tension to hold this thing together. These ones actually thread together, so you know that this isn't going to pull off and get lost whenever you're trying to receive something. And finally, this is just a nice little beauty bezel that protects the threads on the end of the camera in the event that you are not using an attachment. I think this is super nice and really handy, and it's just cool that they include this, because if you damage the threads on the camera, it kind of, it destroys the fact that you have the attachment. So it's just nice that you have a way to protect those, and they give you this from the factory. Now we get to the actual camera itself. This, besides the fact that the base module and the screen is huge, this is like the coolest part about this kit. This particular lens is like 16 or 20 feet long. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but believe me, this is long enough to get into whatever you need to do. So not only for automotive applications, but for plumbing, for electrical, for HVAC. Let's just say that you suspect that you have a clog in your vent line in your house or something. Well, now you have the ability to get 20 some feet away from you, and you can put these weird attachments on the end of it and possibly grab a clog, or at very least see what you think may be going on. Now, at the very beginning of the camera, we have about 16 or 20-inch flexible whip here that screws and threads onto the top of the camera, so you know that this isn't going to come undone on you, and you have plenty of flexibility to get wherever you need to go without potentially damaging the camera cord. Once we get to the end of the flexible part here, we get, I would say, semi-rigid camera cable, because this, you can kind of put it wherever you want and it will stay in that orientation. Let's just say that you're trying to fish this thing up through an interior wall in your house, and you kind of need like a weird angle to get up over a stud or something. You can kind of preload this thing into the position that you need, and it will stay there. Now, that in mind, it is flexible, so if you come up against something, a hard stop or something weird, this will kind of fish its way around and find what you need to get to, but it is nice that this thing is kind of rigid so you can actually push it. Now, let's put this thing all together and see what it actually looks like. Now, when it comes to actually installing everything and putting it together, it couldn't be any easier. Let's get this nice snazzy case out of the way and actually do some installing. We'll grab our base module here, install the camera, and it indexes with tabs inside of the plug, so it can only go on one way. And check that out. Look how immediate that is. As soon as you plug it in, there is no really boot time. There is no lag. It just works. Now we can go over some of the other cool features on this particular one. Like most inspection scopes only have one camera right on the end, so that's what you're looking at. This guy actually has 3 cameras on it. There's one on the front and then one on either side, and they are all illuminated. And one really cool thing about this is that you can split the screen so you can view multiple cameras at any given time. So you guys can tell here I have everything powered up. It's in live video. In order to go through the different camera settings, we choose this button here. Now we're on this side camera. You can tell that it lit up. So this is the camera that's active on the screen. We continue scrolling through. Now it's on the back side. We continue to go through this menu, and now we're splitting screens. So this goes from the top and the right side. This one is the top and the back side. And this one is the 2 sides. I cannot tell you guys how cool this side view camera thing is, because if you've ever used one of these tools to inspect a cylinder bore, like you take the spark plug out and shove this thing in there to see what the inside of the cylinder is doing, now you don't try to have to fish this thing around and get a view of the cross hatching inside of the cylinder, you just click this button until you activate the camera that you want, and you can easily view 90 degrees away from whatever the camera is facing. And because we have that ability to record, live view, take a snapshot just like that, we can save all of this stuff and go over it later. Now, I told you guys that you have the ability to digitally rotate this image given whatever orientation your camera is in. You just hit this button right here, and that flips your image 180 degrees. So in the event you have this camera in here at a weird angle and you don't want to be standing on your head to look at whatever image you are, click the button and it'll flip it up the right direction for you. And it does that with every camera setting. So let's just say we're at this one here. Now we're looking at this side of the bench. Hit the button, it'll flip it 180 degrees for you. So this is really nice. It gives you the ability to orient your image to whatever best suits the application. Now, whenever you have a camera selected, these two buttons here, the left and right arrow, these actually zoom. So it gives you up to 1.5 times zoom in like 0.2 of an increment. So, I mean, it's not crazy zoom, but honestly, this thing works best when it's close anyway. And that's the whole point of this. But it's nice that you have the ability to zoom in on this photo. Now, whenever you want to use this to take a photograph or a short video or whatever, simply get whatever you want in your field of view here and hit the camera button. It makes a nice little snapshot photograph for you there, the picture. And then whenever you want to view that, you click and hold OK, and it goes to your photo album. Click OK again, and check that out. Now you can scroll through the photographs that you have taken. Obviously, I only have a couple on this because I haven't really used it yet. But this is automatically stored onto that SD card. So you can either view it on here as long as you want or transfer it to a PC so you can email, text, whatever you need to do with it. To get out of this menu and back to live view, you simply hit the back button a couple times and you go right back to live view. Now, if I want to do a video, you click and hold the camera button. It gives you a beep, an audible beep on here to let you know that you're recording, and also it gives you a little signal up in the top left-hand corner. Says, yes, we're playing a video and recording it. It even says right here the time that you have been recording. Here's a little bit better angle of that. You have a little image of a camcorder and the amount of time you've been recording for. Now, whenever you're done with your recording, click the camera button once again. This is the same thing as viewing a photograph. If you want to review the video that you just took, you press and hold OK, and it opens up this menu. See, now we have the option for video and photo. So I want to see the video that we just took and scroll through the different videos, and it'll tell you the date and the time of when it was taken. Obviously, this is incorrect, but we can change that. I'll show you how. And it'll tell you the length of the video. So this guy right here, 51 seconds, that's the one that we just did. Click OK and play it. You guys hear that? We even have audio on the back of this. Now, keep in mind, it's not the greatest audio, but that very well may be the speaker on this thing. I'm willing to bet if you put that SD into a computer, you get way better audio. But this is really cool. Let's just say that you put this thing into the oil fill cap of a valve cover, and you're checking for a rattly rocker. Now, not only do you get the visual, but you get the audio also. I think that is a really cool added feature that most inspection cameras don't give you. Now, just like before, to exit this menu, just keep on hitting back and we're good back in live view. Now, I told you about the date and time here. You hit the settings. Now, this gives you all the options of different things that we want to look at. Language, time, microphone settings, volume of the speaker on this guy, screen brightness, resolution, contrast. You can set an auto off timer. So in the event you leave this thing on your bench or you put it away in your toolbox and forget to turn it off, it will auto off for you. The storage guy, this tells you how much you've used of the available space on your SD card. So it's pretty cool. You can keep an eye on what you're doing. The next tab here is format. In the event that you need to change the format from like PDF or PNG or whatever to view it on different devices, you have the ability to change that on here. System reset, this is a soft reset. So you can go through here, and this is basically like doing a power cycle on a PC. You just do it here from the screen. Version, it just simply tells you the current version of the software that's running in this thing. So possibly they could provide updates on their website and just keep this thing up to date with what's going on. And they actually have a beginner's guide. So if you need to know how to use this thing and you lose the booklet or whatever, it's right here in the settings menu. It'll tell you how to do it and what to do and give you a guide through all the buttons and the functions and what everything happens. And they even supply a QR code so you can scan this with your phone and go through it at your leisure. To get back to the menu, hit the back button and keep on scrolling. Do whatever you need to do. And it even gives you links and different ways to get in touch with Depstech if you have issues, questions, or whatever. Now, another thing that I may have forgot to mention, these two arrow buttons here. The one on the right, just like we showed before, this activates your zoom up to 1.5 times. The left side button, whenever you're in live view, controls the brightness of the light on the end of the camera. So you can have it off, on low, on medium, on high. So that gives you the ability to change this. It's totally situational. You know, if you're looking at something really shiny and you're getting a bad glare on the screen, you can change the brightness of the camera to whatever you need to. And not only does that work just on the front camera, whenever we change views, so now we're using this side camera right here. That adjustable light setting works for all of the cameras, not just any one of them. And whenever we're splitting a screen between different angles and views, so now we have multiple cameras on the screen at one time, we can change the brightness of both of them at the same time. So it's not just one or the other. You can change the entire illumination of whatever you're trying to light up. Now that we've gone over pretty much the functions, and I know it's not a lot, but honestly, that's one of my favorite features about this thing. It's user friendly and it's not super complicated. Like, yes, we have a lot of menu options, a lot of stuff to go through, but it's not like so much that it's cumbersome to use. It's real easy one hand operation. And with that strap on the side, it's easy to use it one handed and still do other stuff or fish the camera to wherever you need to go. And since we have that nice little kickstand on the back of it, it makes it even easier. So, man, I got to tell you that this thing is super slick. With all the other Depstech stuff that they have come out with, I really do genuinely like this one. Not only for the size of the screen, it makes it that much easier, but the multi-camera view and the live view, like recording video thing with audio. I think that is super awesome. So like I mentioned before, in the event that you need to show or prove something to a customer of what's going on, you no longer have to just tell a story and hope that they understand it. They can actually see and hear for themselves what's going on. So if you need to justify like, hey, you need a valve because it fell out in cylinder 4 or something, you can actually show them. Because let's face it, most people that drive cars have no idea what's going on. And if you just tell them they have a valve train problem, they probably don't even know what a valve train is, let alone what the problem is that you're trying to describe to them. Now you can show them, like, you see that big shiny chunk of thing sitting on top of your piston? Yeah, it's not supposed to be there. So this kind of justifies your repair order. So not only is this thing awesome for obviously automotive reasons like I've been preaching here, but because this camera lead is so freaking long. Like I mentioned, I didn't actually measure it, but this thing has to be at least 20 feet when it's stretched out all the way. So this makes it awesome for other applications like plumbing or electrical or HVAC, all that stuff I mentioned earlier. But this is super cool. Let's just say, I don't know, your clean out tee for your sanitary sewer. Like, let's just say your toilet's backing up and you don't know what's going on. Well, now you don't have to call a plumber for potentially hundreds of dollars to come out and bring a camera and snake your sewer out to the road. I mean, yes, you're not going to be able to go as far as they would, but this is an excellent homeowner option to keep in your garage or shop. You know, do some preliminary diagnostics. You might be able to save yourself a heap of money. Just like go out to the garage, grab the Depstech, shove it in there and see what's going on. If it's within this range, you might be able to have an ability to fix it yourself. The fact that this camera lead is like semi-rigid and it will hold the shape that you tell it, it makes it really nice for putting it in things. Like if you need to fish up a wall or go through a joist or, an air duct or something in your basement, it's rigid. It stays where you put it. But if it comes across an obstruction, it will kind of snake its way around that corner. But if you guys have ever tried to fish wire before, like shove Romex through a piece of drywall, it can be cumbersome because it bends all the time. It's like pushing a rope. It's really difficult to do. But because this thing is semi-rigid and it holds its form, it allows you to be able to push it from behind to get to where you need to go. This is kind of like the Goldilocks. I really like that this thing has that much variability to it. So guys, like I led on in the beginning, I have a little bit of something for you. We are doing a giveaway, the Depstech DS260. That's right, an absolutely free giveaway from Dan's Pro Shop to you, thanks to Depstech. Now, this is not the same thing that this video is about, but I felt like this was a good opportunity to bring up this little, giveaway to you guys. This is a snazzy little handheld. I'll bring you guys in and show you some of the stats after we're done here. But if you're interested in getting a chance to win this thing, make sure that you are subscribed to Dan's Pro Shop. You need to comment Dan's Pro Shop in this video. Make sure that you comment Dan's Pro Shop, and you have to like and share the video. Now, I know that may seem like a lot, but that's all there is to it. It's free. It doesn't cost anything to you. All that stuff I just mentioned, it is totally free. Make sure you're subscribed. Put Dan's Pro Shop down in the comments and like and share the video. It doesn't cost anything to you guys. So the plan here to give this away, I don't want to be biased or crazy at all. There are like apps and websites and everything that allow you to randomly choose a comment. That's why I asked you to comment to this video. I can put in different filters in this thing to make sure the commenter is subscribed and they have liked and shared the link to that video and a specific comment. That's why I asked you to put in Dan's Pro Shop in the comments, so you meet all that criteria, and then this thing will randomly select one of the commenters out of the however many, and then I will hook up with that lucky person individually via Facebook or email or however we got to do it. But I'll just make sure that you are actually the one that did it. And bravo, this thing is on its way to you. Now, just a little bit better look at the 260 here. You guys can kind of see what the deal is. It's one hand operation, all your thumb buttons right there. It's got a lot of the same features. It's just kind of a smaller handheld unit. USB rechargeable, the camera flips, the light changes, all kinds of good stuff. I'm telling you, if you want to, go ahead and look this thing up so you guys can get some particular specs on your own. But I think this is an awesome thing to get a chance to get for free. So the plan for this whole giveaway thing here is the next upcoming Dan's Pro Shop live video, I'm going to pull the winner right there during the live. So you guys know that there's no tomfoolery or favoritism going on. While the live stream is happening, I'm going to pull up this random comment generator on the laptop and show it to you guys while it's happening. So you know that I'm not pulling one over on you. So like I said, make sure that you're subscribed. Comment Dan's Pro Shop in this video, not the live video, this video. Make sure that you like and share this video, and then you will automatically be entered into that drawing whenever we do the next live stream. At this particular point, I'm not exactly sure when that's going to happen, but I promise you it is going to happen, and this drawing will happen in the next live stream. Now, with all that cool stuff aside, I know as jazzy as that is, let's not forget the star of today's video, the Depstech DS700, this big bad mamma jamma that we went over the functions and features. Now, I know that I didn't actually do anything with it, but you can literally do anything with it. I think this is an amazing homeowner thing just to have. I realize that I have gone over Depstech endoscopes in the past, and I feel like they were kind of, I don't know, task oriented. Like, keep in mind, you can use an inspection scope for anything, but you know, the one with the bendy hook end on it is absolutely awesome. But I feel like that is really automotive geared because of the functions specifically that one has. I use the crap out of it. Heck, I just used it the other day for putting light bulbs in my buddy's Jeep because you couldn't physically see where it was going. And a rigid, like a semi-rigid camera like this could be difficult to get into that. But the way that you can actually bend the end of it, like manually on the controller, absolutely freaking awesome. But this guy, this is like a farm and ranch homeowner special. The limitations are, the limitations are you. The cool thing about this is that you can do anything with it. And the fact that the camera lead is so long, it gives you endless options. You know, you need to check down in your well, or, you know, sewage or vent piping or even automotive applications. Like, I know this may be a bit long for automotive, but you got this nice snazzy case. Whatever part of the lead you're not using, just leave it wrapped up in here. And then you have a nice place to display your monitor and this and that and everything. But dude, it is so cool, the functions and abilities that this thing has for the price point of it. Now, keep in mind, it's not cheap. But let's just say if you went to go get one of these from Snap-on or Matco or something, you'd have to refinance your house to get something this size with these features and this quality. And like I mentioned, this case, just the fact that that's the case that it comes in, you can tell that they want to produce and present a good, high quality product that's going to last for a long time. And I am absolutely blown away with the quality of Depstech. Because like I mentioned, if you got Snap-on or something, like, I'm not going to lie to you, I have a Snap-on inspection scope. And compared to these things, that Snap-on scope is junk. And I tried to return it, like trade it in to my Snap-on guy. And I think he offered me like 30 bucks for it. And I bought it for 400 originally. It's, I will never, ever, ever buy a Snap-on inspection scope again because these Depstechs are so darn good. So like I mentioned, the previous Depstech scopes that I've gone over in the past, I will link the videos and the product links in the description of this video just so you guys can check them out in case you have not already. Like I said, there are a lot of different options for different applications, but I feel like this one is kind of like the all-around Goldilocks. No matter what you're getting into, this thing is a good solution for it. So not specifically automotive, not specifically like homeowner or contractor or everything. This guy kind of does everything, and it is just super handy, something to have around. You never know when you're going to need to see something that you can't particularly see. And don't forget the free giveaway of the DS260. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, comment Dan's Pro Shop on this video, like and share this video, and you are automatically entered in the drawing. We will pull this randomly at the next Dan's Pro Shop live video. Like I mentioned, I don't know exactly when that's going to happen yet, but I promise it will happen. So just go ahead. You're seeing this right now. Go ahead and do all that stuff to this video now so you are automatically entered into the video. And heck, I might even let that roll for a while to give as many people as best chances they can to get in on this drawing, because there are so many of you guys that have been cool to me, and I wanted the chance to give back. So thanks to Depstech, one of you lucky guys is going to get one of these things for free. Like I said, we will hook up together once we've got the winner and confirmed it and everything. I'll get your info and get this thing in the mail on the way to you. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I know it wasn't like crazy in-depth techie, but like I mentioned, with these things, the options are endless. It is what you want it to be, but it is just another amazing handy tool to have around. And if I need to explain to you how cool this is or what you can do with it, I don't know, man. Maybe I get into more stuff than most people, but these things are amazing to have, and it really is a priceless tool when you need it. So go ahead, check out the links in the description. I'll put this one at the top of the links so it's easiest to find and you know which one we featured in this video. But I'll link all the other videos and links from the Depstech stuff so you guys can check out the lineup of stuff that I've gone over because I think that they're great. So like I said, don't forget to do all that stuff down in the description and the links and comment and all that. And don't miss out on the free drawing for the 260. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we will see you next time.